Hey everybody. So as I'm driving in about the 1000th day in a row of rain in my area, we've had a few reprieves, but very few. I'm headed to a doctor's appointment. It's a routine doctor's appointment. I have to go see a couple of different specialty doctors about 3 or 4 times a year for the, one of them about 3 times a year. I'm supposed to see one of them. I go see every 6 months. It's in relation to the ankylosing spondylitis that I've got, which I've shared with you guys before. But as I'm taking this trek, which I'm not excited about, but never am, particularly when the weather's a mess like this, like it has been forever, it seems, I am reminded to remind you all who are preppers and wanting to be preppers and trying to be preppers, to prep your meds. Yes, medicines. And what I'm talking about, of course, I think a good thing, that, and I've mentioned this before, keep aspirin, keep ibuprofen, keep Tylenol, keep cold medicines, anything over the counter that you can get, obviously. You want to have a surplus of that kind of stuff as well, okay? Because, if you had to close yourself up in the house and you got no way for, to get anywhere, to get anything, and then somebody falls ill, with something that you can treat simply with, like I say, over-the-counter meds, you're going to want to have that stuff on hand. But more importantly, or equally so anyway, if let's say you go to the doctor because you're ill, you're sick with a cold or the flu or whatever the case may be, you've got an infection, bronchitis, whatever. If there's any meds that you are prescribed that you don't finish, keep them. If there are any meds that you are prescribed and you are also prescribed, multiple refills of, 1 or more refills of, even if you're over the illness, refill the med and put it away. Pay attention to dates. Make sure you get the dates on them. Now, I am not a doctor, so don't take this advice. I'm not a pharmacist, so don't take this advice. Look it up yourself or make your own judgment call. But I am of the mindset, much like food, canned foods specifically, that there is a best by date or a use by date, and then there is the reality of how long these things can last you. So, to me, in my opinion, I operate under the assumption that these things are good beyond those dates and effective beyond those dates. But again, that is not medical advice or pharmaceutical advice to you. That is just me sharing my own thoughts on the matter. But nonetheless, so any extra meds that you have, keep them. Any extra refills you have, even after you're better, go ahead and refill them and keep them. I actually have a doctor that I have asked in the past for like Z-Packs, antibiotics and things that you get for colds and infections and things, or I guess other reasons. I have asked for these things before from a particular doctor who will write me a prescription, sometimes with a refill, that I don't necessarily need it right then, and I just fill them, and keep them put up. So if you've got a relationship with a doctor, your doctor, a doctor, whatever, such that you feel confident that you could ask that question and not be, met with the stink eye, then go ahead and ask them. I mean, it never hurts to ask. Worst they can do is say no. And if you've got a doctor that will do that, then let them do it. Ask. But save these things up. Meds, like I say, supplies, things of that nature that you can only get by prescription. Because if you hadn't used them up, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not any good. So That's it. Just a couple other things to think about. Let me add this. For those of you, I'm going to include myself in this. In a way, I am. For those of you that have conditions, illnesses, chronic things where you take ongoing meds, or let's say diabetic medicine, or blood thinners and high blood pressure pills and all that kind of stuff. You're going to have a tougher time of it, unless there is a way you can stockpile those medicines, which I'm assuming are all prescription based, because really what I'm talking about is the stuff that when something pops up, when you get ill because of an infection, a cold, a virus, bacterial, whatever, something that can be treated, it goes away, it's cured, it's gone, versus a chronic thing. Now, I do have a chronic disease, as I've shared, but I merely treat the symptoms. I don't take the heavy-duty drugs that really won't cure it. This condition can't be cured anyway. It can merely be, it's also just a symptom. What they would prescribe is just symptom relief. They say it can actually bring it into a remission. I have taken those meds before. It's the biologic drugs. Gosh, I hate this weather. Injectables and stuff that I have taken. I'm not taking that stuff anymore. That's by choice. Those are heavy-duty meds that change you and mess with you, and you mess with your physiology, and I'm not interested in that. So, but for those of you that have those types of diseases, maybe talk to your doctor, or talk to doctors until you find one that's maybe sympathetic to the idea of prepping and being prepared in case of an emergency and things of that nature. And maybe you can get lucky and get ahead in that, or find ways, if there are, and I'm going to plead ignorant here because I'm not sure, but find ways, if there are, to offset your condition and to help your condition without drugs, with diet, exercise, whatever. I don't know, but every chance you get, save that stuff, put it up, because we should be prepping our meds too. All right, that's all I got. Just a little something I'm thinking about on this crappy rainy day, where I've been at work and now I'm driving into town, the opposite direction of Area 53, to go to this doctor's visit. And I guarantee it'll be 7:30 before I get home tonight, and it's about 3:45 now. Anyway, that's all I got. Real World Prepper, thank you so much. Bye-bye.